This expansion is insane. There is not much terrible. Hello and welcome to Hearthstone Top 5. My name is Benjamin Hero, and today we'll be covering the top 5 insane or terrible cards from the Titans expansion. And boy, does this expansion live up to that name. This is easily one of the most powerful set of cards I've ever looked at. It was a struggle to find any bad cards. It is insane. I've never seen so many good cards in an expansion and so many mediocre cards. So they didn't quite fit. You will see once we get to the list. It's a very interesting list because bloody hell, it was hard to find cards that were legitimately more insane or on the terrible end. But before we jump the gun, let us review the cards from the Festival of Legends and see how they performed. Also, as you can see, I'm in a bit of my mobile studio. I'm recording while traveling, so I've got my central pieces of equipment here. So hopefully it will still be to your liking. Whew! Okay, and without further ado, let us begin the review of the top 5 insane or terrible cards from the Festival of Legends. Let's review the Festival of Legend cards. At number 5, we had Obsessive Fan. I was on this copium of the Red Herring audio amplifier combo. Obsessive Fan did see a lot of play in meme videos with Red Herring. So technically it did see play, but let's be real, it was never a serious card. Okay, that was a gamble. At number 4, we had Tony, King of Piracy. And my man Tony, I wasn't right about the whole steam cleaner and the fire of, Zin Ashar combo. However, Druid did find a lot of success playing Tony with Jailer. It was the whole Jailer combo. With Druid, you draw all of your cards, you ramp, you go play Jailer, then you go play Tony, and because they can't kill your Tony, you essentially give them no deck and you just take their deck. So Tony actually was a legitimate card in a competitive deck. So bam, that counts. Number 3, we had Freebird. Now Freebird, I think Freebird was the perfect case that if you charged way too much for a card, charge doesn't even matter. Unintended pun, but screw it, I meant it. Yeah, Freebird, the problem was it was just too damn expensive for what it did, even though it had charge. So yes, it was in essence dead on arrival. Number 2, big surprise, Banjo saw so much play in a competitive Hunter deck, Big Beast Hunter, and it was a legitimately good card. Big Beast Hunter was actually really, really good. Even Stranglethorn Hard got buffed from 10 mana to 8 mana, which made it even more playable. So yeah, surprisingly to know, a 10 mana Hunter card was played, and it was good. And he was, you could say, a staple within the deck. So yes, Banjo really damn good, biggest surprises. And of course, number 1, we had the whole Rift package. I said in my previous videos, for the only way for the Rift to work is for them to be buffed in some way, either in the mini set or something. And it happened. Blizzard buffed all of them. They buffed Verse Rift into a 1 mana card instead of 2 mana. Chorus Rift now gives you plus 3/3 instead of just plus 2/2. And Bridge Rift got buffed from 6 mana to 5 mana. So in total, I got 3 out of 5. Way better than last time. I told you I'm back on top, back on the trend, and I made some crazy bets. So you can't even say I picked easy cards. I made some crazy bets and got 3 out of 5. Let's hope it wouldn't take me another 6 years to get my 5 out of 5 score. But the Titans expansion, my God, is pretty damn insane. All right then, let's see what the top 5 insane or terrible cards have from Titans. At number 5, we have Argunite Golem, a 3 mana 1/5 Demon Hunter card with the effect of having +1 attack for each card you have drawn this turn. The key disclaimer in this card is this turn, which means on your opponent's turn, unless they also make you draw, it is just a simple 1/5, and you have to hope it survives via taunt protection, and then you can go off the following turn and hit your opponent for a whole bunch of damage. In this expansion, Demon Hunter has gotten a lot of draw card support. So the idea is that Demon Hunter will, in essence, somehow protect this minion for a turn and then deal a whole bunch of damage. And as we all know, historically, Demon Hunters just draw a whole bunch of cards. Remember when the Demon Hunter class was first revealed, Skull of Gul'dan? I mean, it was an amazing time. I love Demon Hunter on release. It got me to Legend the easiest way I've ever been there before. And the point of this particular golem is that it fits into the new theme that they are pushing. It's on the list because you have to protect it for one turn. And by itself, it's just a mere 1/5. And you're spending 3 mana on top of it as well. Because of its high roll potential and its roll potential, it is a perfect candidate to kick off this list of the top 5 insane or terrible cards. At number 4, we have Ancient Totem, a 0 mana, 0/3 totem. No abilities, no effect, a literal 0 mana, 0/3. You're probably thinking, Benjamin, I know you're crazy, but I didn't think you were mad. But hear me out. The reason why I think it's actually a pretty good and perfect candidate for this list is because currently Totem Shaman is a legitimate deck. Not the best, but it's playable. It is playable. And this is the way how I see it. Ancient Totem. The only deck that would feasibly play it is gonna be Totem Shaman. And either Totem Shaman is gonna love Ancient Totem, it's gonna be a staple in the deck, or it will see absolutely no play. There's not gonna be any in between. Either Ancient Totem is gonna give you these tempo tools, which will work with your other Totem synergistic cards, or it will never be played. As simple as that. And the other small reason why I thought I'm gonna put this on the list, because historically, 0 mana cards have seen some semblance of play in the meta with some very niche strategies. Even Wisp saw some kind of play way back in the OG days of Hearthstone, and you should never really underestimate a 0 mana card. But usually those are 1/1s or they have some kind of attack value, whereas Ancient Totem is just a 0/3. So because of this high variance of it being pretty damn good to LOL, why the hell is it on the list, is why Ancient Totem is at number 4. At number 3, we have the Stars Align, a 3 mana pre-spell with the effect of transforming the minions in your hand into ones that cost 3 more, but they keep the original effect. So think of it as a sort of Deck of Lunacy effect, but just for your minions. And the reason why I put this on the list is for a pretty interesting reason. I actually see the Stars Align seeing a lot of play in Priest, and I'm also seeing it really tilt many players. However, there's a big caveat. As we all know, priests love to discover different cards. And I'm seeing this card be more of a discovery card, and no one's actually gonna put it inside their main deck. Because the many different priest spells you only see ever being played because they get discovered. My gambit, you could say, is that the Stars Align will actually be in a main decked card. Not just being played because it was discovered, but because it's a main deck card. For some very priest minion, like a very heavy minion focused priest deck, I want to say in a shadow aggro priest, but then again, you wouldn't really want to put this card in. So maybe it could create its own sort of unique niche. And because of this potential of it either seeing no play, because it was only going to get discovered, or it seeing some kind, or it being a deck defining builder one card, is why the Stars Align really have to align for this card to see main deck actual play. And that's why it's at number 3. At number 2, we have Astral Automaton, a 1 mana 1/1 priest minion with the effect of gaining +1/+1 for each other Astral Automaton that you have summoned. Key thing is summoned and not played, meaning that resurrection spells from minions or from, spells will work to also give it this buff. Think of it like Pogo Hopper back in Constructed, but instead of it being absolutely terrible, hopefully it's going to be more like Poker Hopper from Battlegrounds, which was absolutely busted. I guess there's some kind of insane or terrible thing there. Minions that were terrible and constructed, but OP in Battlegrounds. Maybe a possible video idea? So carrying on, the reason why I have this card second on the list is because it is a Builder 1 card, which only really has 3 support cards and is in Priest, and the effect is unique because you just have to keep summoning this card. So we have cards like the Creation Protocol, and it has a new keyword which is Forged, and Forged works similar to Tradable. So you hover the card over your deck, you pay 2 mana, and you get the much better Forged version of the card. This is how all Forged cards work. So you play Creation Protocol, then you also have Raden, and with Raden, because your copied minions didn't start from your deck, you should, I'm assuming this is how it works, but I'm pretty damn sure that when you play Raden, the automatons that didn't start from your deck, but which were copies that you've played, should get summoned, and these also get the +1/+1 buff. And if you're feeling really frisky, you can play that new 8 mana Priest minion, which I almost put on the list, by the way. I almost put this guy on the list. Constellation something. I almost put this guy on the list, but I thought, you know what? There's some more interesting cards. Because at worst, it's still an 8 mana 8/8, which is bad, but you know, you can still work with it. Yeah, that's how you're feeling really crazy. And because the Astral Automaton, the only way for this card to be good if the whole package and the whole core is good, and it can give you some really high, crazy numbers. Otherwise, it's going to be one of those forgotten archetypes like Freeze Shaman. Remember Freeze Shaman? Yeah, I'm talking about old school Freeze Shaman, not the newer ones. And for that reason, Astral Automaton is at number 2. I know all of you have been waiting for my number 1 choice. You've been thinking, Benjamin, all these other 4 cards, they actually look pretty good, they're not really this bad. Like I said, this expansion has so many, every card in this expansion can be argued to be, you know what, it's not terrible, it can be pretty decent, every single card, except for my number 1. Number 1 is undisputably the worst card in this set, and that is Wing Welding, a 4 mana Warlock spell with the effect of discarding your highest cost card and then dealing its cost as damage to all minions on board. Let me tell you all of the reasons why Wing Welding is such a terrible card. First of all, you have to discard your highest cost card. Wing Welding goes into a control deck, and the control decks do not want to discard their highest cost cards. This is already trash. Second, it's a symmetrical board clear. I mean, almost all Warlock cards are, which is again a big downside. Furthermore, what's wrong with Wing Welding? There is no benefit to discarding these cards. There's any card out there which says, you know what, yeah, I want to go and be discarded. So this is just a straight up 4 mana board clear where you have to potentially lose one of your best cards. Fifth, I forgot what number I'm on. But the next point is, look at the damn art. I mean, like, is it chopping its wing off? Is it like healing its wing? I mean, the art's a bit confusing because the dragon looks to be in so much pain. And that's why Wing Welding is a terrible card. However, you're speaking with Benjamin Hero, the champion. Oh, I'm getting hot in here. The champion at knowing what cards are going to be buffed either during the patches or is going to get some kind of insane mini set boost. I know Blizzard. I mean, look at my last video where I said the Rift package are going to get buffed and this is why they're going to be really insane. Turns out I was right. And so a few hours in the comments. I know who you are. And Wing Welding, Blizzard is not going to be so foolish to put such an aggressively bad card on the list without some kind of payoff happening in the mini set. There's going to be some minion where if you discard it, you win the game. Something like that. Okay, maybe not that much, but something like this for Warlock. For the fact that there's going to be a guarantee payoff OP minion, which is gonna combine with Wing Welding, is why it's at number 1.